Welcome back to Philosophy Unpacked, where we break down the dense and difficult ideas of the world's greatest thinkers. I'm your host.
And I'm your co-host. Today, we're diving back into Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and we've arrived at a really pivotal, almost mystical chapter, the Drunken Song.
That's right. The scene is set just after a long, astonishing day. Zarathustra and his companions, the higher men, have stepped out into the cool night.
Right. These higher men are the collection of characters he's gathered. The kings, the pope, the sorcerer, all of them representing a certain kind of human striving.
Exactly. And Zarathustra is personally leading the ugliest man by the hand, showing him the moon and the waterfalls near his cave.
There's a real sense of peace here. The text says they have comforted, brave hearts and are astonished at how well they feel.
It's a moment of quiet contentment. Zarathustra himself is pleased with them, but he respects their happiness and silence, so he doesn't say it aloud.
But that silence is about to be broken in a pretty dramatic way, isn't it?
In the most astonishing way, the ugliest man, who has been mostly just gurgling and snorting, finally finds his voice.
And what comes out isn't a grunt, but a profound question that moves everyone who hears it.
He addresses everyone and says, "For the sake of this day, I am for the first time content to have lived mine entire life."
Wow, that's a massive statement, especially coming from him, the one who represents the ultimate self-loathing and despair.
He goes even further. He says, "It is worthwhile living on the earth. One day, one festival with Zarathustra hath taught me to love the earth."
So this single, perfect day has redeemed his entire existence in his own eyes.
It's given him the strength to face the ultimate question. He says, "Was that life? Will I say unto death, well, once more."
That's the core of it, isn't it? The idea of the eternal recurrence. He's saying he would live his whole life over again, suffering and all, just to experience this one day again.
Precisely. He's not just stating it for himself, he turns it into a question for the others. "Will ye not, like me, say unto death, was that life? For the sake of Zarathustra, well, once more."
And how do the other higher men react to this? This is the breakthrough moment they've all been waiting for, but it's coming from the most unlikely person.
As soon as they hear him, they realize their own transformation. They grasp what has happened to them and who caused it.
So they all rush to Zarathustra?
They do. They rush up to him, thanking him, honoring him, caressing him, kissing his hands. The text says, each in his own peculiar way.
So it's a very personal, emotional outpouring. Some are laughing, some are weeping. It's a moment of pure catharsis.
Absolutely. And the scene gets even more surreal. The old soothsayer starts dancing with delight, full of sweet life.
And wasn't there something about an ass dancing?
There was. Nietzsche includes a little aside that some narrators claim the ass also danced, since the ugliest man had given it wine earlier.
That's hilarious. It adds this layer of absurd joy to the whole scene.
But Nietzsche is quick to qualify it. He says it may have happened or it might not have. And even if it didn't, greater wonders happened that night.
Right, because the real miracle was the transformation of the higher men, not a literal dancing animal.
He sums it up with Zarathustra's proverb, "What doth it matter? The literal fact is unimportant compared to the spiritual event."
Okay, so everyone is celebrating this massive breakthrough. What's Zarathustra's state in all of this?
This is where the chapter shifts dramatically. While everyone else is celebrating, Zarathustra is standing there like one drunken.
Drunken? You mean spiritually overwhelmed, not literally drunk?
Exactly. His glance is dulled, his tongue falters, his feet stagger. He's completely lost in thought.
The text says his spirit retreated and fled in advance. What does that mean?
It's described as him wandering on high mountain ridges, twixt two seas, wandering twixt the past and the future as a heavy cloud.
So he's in a prophetic trance. He's not in the present moment with them anymore. He's contemplating the vast scope of time, past and future.
Yes, he's feeling the full weight of the idea that the ugliest man just articulated. The higher men have to physically hold him up.
So he's almost collapsing under the gravity of this revelation.
For a moment, yes, but then he begins to come back to himself, and suddenly he turns his head as if he hears something.
And this is where the suspense starts to build, right?
Right. He lays his finger on his mouth, a gesture for silence, and says one word, "Come."
Just come. and everything goes quiet.
Instantly, the atmosphere becomes still and mysterious, and from the depths they hear the slow sound of a clock bell.
The midnight bell.
The midnight bell. Zarathustra listens, and then, for a second time, he puts his finger to his mouth and says again, "Come, come, it is getting on to midnight."
His voice has changed, the text says. What kind of change are we talking about?
It's become deeper, more resonant with the mystery he's tapping into. He's no longer just the teacher, he's becoming a conduit for something else.
And the stillness deepens even more. Everything is listening. The ass, the eagle, the serpent, the cave, the moon, the night itself.
It's a beautiful image of total cosmic attention. Then, for the third and final time, he lays his hand on his mouth.
And he says,
"Come. Come, come, let us now wander. It is the hour. Let us wander into the night."
So this wandering into the night isn't just a literal walk. It's a journey into the heart of this mystery he's invoking.
That's it, exactly. He's leading them from the simple happiness of the evening into a much deeper, more complex truth. And this is the beginning of his drunken song.
Okay, so the song begins. How does he frame it?
He tells the higher men that as midnight approaches, he's going to say something into their ears, just as the old clock bell says it into his.
So he's speaking with the voice of the midnight bell. What qualities does that voice have?
He describes it as speaking mysteriously, as frightfully, and as cordially. It's a voice of contradictions.
Frightful, but also cordial or friendly. Why is that?
Because the truth it tells is terrifying in its implications, but it's also a truth born of love for life. The bell itself has experienced more than one man.
It's a symbol of deep time. It has counted the smarting throbbings of your fathers' hearts. It's the voice of ancestral experience.
Yes, and he says now, in the cool night air, when the tumult of your hearts hath become still, now is the time to hear it.
You can only hear this deep truth when your own inner noise has quieted down.
It steals into over-wakeful, nocturnal souls. He asks them, "Hearest thou not how it mysteriously, frightfully, and cordially speaketh unto thee, the old, deep, deep midnight?"
He's making it incredibly personal. It's not a general sermon. It's a secret being whispered directly to thee.
And the first word of that secret is a warning. Oh man, take heed.
Take heed of what? What's the danger?
The danger is the profundity of the thought that's coming. Zarathustra himself seems to buckle under its weight for a moment. He cries, "Woe to me! Whither hath time gone? Have I not sunk into deep wells?"
He feels lost in this timeless, deep space he's entered. He says he'd rather die than say what his midnight heart is thinking.
It's a thought so heavy, it feels like a death. He mentions a spider spinning a web, a classic image of fate and entanglement. The dew is falling, the hour is coming.
The hour for what? What is the question that this hour asks?
The hour asks, who hath sufficient courage for it? Who is to be master of the world?
Ah, so this is the ultimate burden. Not just enduring life, but taking command of it, giving it meaning.
Exactly. Who is going to say, "Thus shall ye flow, ye great and small streams"? This is the creative power of the Übermensch, the overman, to shape reality through will.
And he says this talk is for fine ears, for the ears of the higher men. This is the specific challenge he's posing to them.
Yes, the central question is, what saith deep midnight's voice indeed? And the answer begins to unfold.
He seems to be carried away by this thought. It carrieth me away, my soul danceth.
It's a dance of cosmic responsibility. Day's work. Who is to be master of the world? He then brings it back to the higher men.
And he's a little critical of them, isn't he? He says, "Ye have danced. A leg, nevertheless, is not a wing."
It's a gentle but firm correction. They've celebrated, they've had a breakthrough, but they haven't achieved the final transformation. They can't fly yet.
He's telling them the party is over. Wine hath become lees. Every cup hath become brittle. The sepulchres mutter. That's a stark shift in tone.
The joy was real, but it was preliminary. Now the real work begins. The muttering sepulchres, or tombs, have a demand.
They say, "Free the dead." Why is it so long night? What does it mean to free the dead?
It's a call to overcome the dead weight of the past, to awaken the corpses of old values and traditions, not to live by them, but to transcend them.
So it's about breaking free from history's grip.
Yes, and he brings back the image of the burrowing worm, the heartworm, symbolizing a deep, gnawing anxiety or striving. And then the key phrase, the world is deep.
There it is again. The world is deep. What is it deeper than?
We'll get to that. First, the tone shifts again, becoming almost lyrical. He addresses a sweet lyre, loving its drunken ranunculine tone.
What is a ranunculine tone? Ranunculus is a flower, a buttercup.
It suggests something wild, perhaps a bit toxic, but beautiful. It's the sound of a painful, ecstatic joy. He says this sound has come from the ponds of love.
And he equates this lyre with the old clock bell. He says to it, "Every pain hath torn thy heart. Father pain, father's pain, forefather's pain."
The sound it makes is ripe because it contains all the suffering of history. It's not a naive, happy sound. It's a sound that has known deep pain.
And now, because it's gone through all that, it's ripe. Just like an anchorite heart, a hermit's heart. It's mature.
And this ripeness of the bell, this lyre, reflects a ripeness in the world itself. The world itself hath become ripe. The grape turneth brown.
And what happens to things that are ripe?
He says, now doth it want to die of happiness.
That's such a radical idea. Not dying of old age or sickness, but of a perfect, overflowing happiness.
It's the ultimate affirmation, a life so complete and perfect that its end is a culmination, not a tragedy. This is what he wants the higher men to sense.
He describes it as an odor of eternity, a rosy, blessed, brown, gold wine odor of old happiness. The sensory language is incredible.
It is. It's the scent of drunken midnight death happiness, which sings the now familiar refrain, "The world is deep, and deeper than the day could read."
So there's the answer. The world is deeper than the day could understand. What does day represent here?
Day represents simple, rational, surface-level understanding. It's clarity, but it's a shallow clarity. Midnight is where the profound, complex, contradictory truths reside.
This leads him to a very defiant stance. He says, "Leave me alone. I am too pure for thee. Touch me not."
He's speaking to the dull, doltish, stupid day. He's rejecting its coarse understanding. His world has just become perfect.
So his purity is a purity from the superficial. He belongs to the night.
Exactly. He states that the purest are to be masters of the world, and he defines them as the least known, the strongest, the midnight souls, who are brighter and deeper than any day.
It's a complete inversion of our usual values. We think of day as good and clear, and night as dark and ignorant.
He's flipping that completely. He accuses the day of groping for his happiness, treating it like a treasure in a gold chamber, but the day is too coarse to understand it.
He tells the world to grasp for deeper happiness, after deeper unhappiness, grasp after some God. Grasp not after me.
He's saying his happiness and unhappiness are too deep for conventional understanding. He is not a god nor a god's hell. His truth is his own.
And he even says that God's woe is deeper. He's placing himself in a hierarchy of profundity.
Yes, but he immediately pulls back, saying, "What am I? A drunken sweet lyre, a bellfrog, which no one understandeth, but which must speak before deaf ones."
The mood becomes melancholy again. Gone, gone, O youth, O noontide, O afternoon. Now have come evening and night and midnight.
It's a lament for passing time.
And the wind is whining and howling like a dog. The night itself seems to sigh and laugh and pant.
He calls the midnight a drunken poetess who is now speaking soberly. Has she overdrunk her drunkenness, he asks? Has she become over-awake?
Meaning, has she reached the clarity that lies on the other side of intoxication?
Yes, a clarity that allows her to ruminate or chew over her woe in her dream, but even more so, her joy.
And this leads to one of the most important lines in the entire book.
It does. For joy, although woe be deep, joy is deeper still than grief can be.
Let's unpack that. It's not saying joy eliminates woe. It's saying that on a fundamental level, joy is a more profound, more primary force in the universe than suffering is.
That's the heart of it. And to explain this, he uses the analogy of a grapevine. He asks it, "Why dost thou praise me? Have I not cut thee? I am cruel, thou bleedest."
The vine is being pruned by the vintner's knife, which is a painful, cruel act. Yet the vine praises the cruelty.
Because it understands that this cruelty is what allows it to become ripe and perfect. Whatever hath become perfect, everything mature, wanteth to die, it says.
So the suffering is necessary for the perfection that leads to that joyful death.
Right. In contrast, everything immature wanteth to live. Then he personifies woe and joy.
What does woe want?
Woe says, "Hence, go, away thou woe." It wants to escape itself. But everything that suffers also wants to live, to become mature and long for something higher, the brighter.
So suffering is future-oriented. It wants something it doesn't have. It says, I want heirs. I want children. I do not want myself.
Exactly. Suffering is a state of incompleteness, so it seeks its continuation and justification in the future, in others.
But joy is different. How is joy different?
Joy, however, doth not want heirs. It doth not want children. Joy wanteth itself. It wanteth eternity. It wanteth recurrence. It wanteth everything eternally like itself.
So joy is completely self-sufficient. It's not looking for a future payoff. Its own existence is its justification, and it finds that existence so perfect, it wants it to happen again and again forever.
Perfectly put. Woe says, "Go," but joy wants eternity. This is the philosophical core of the song.
So now Zarathustra brings it all back to the higher men.
Yes, he asks them, "What think ye? Am I a soothsayer, or a dreamer, or a drunkard?" He's challenging their perception of him.
He's all of those things and none of them. He says, just now hath my world become perfect. Midday is also midnight.
All opposites have collapsed into one. Pain is also a joy. Curse is also a blessing. Night is also a sun. It's a total synthesis of all experience.
And he warns them, go away, or ye will learn that a sage is also a fool. The highest wisdom looks like foolishness to the uninitiated.
And now he delivers the final test. Said ye ever yea to one joy? O my friends, then said ye yea also unto all woe.
Because you can't untangle them. To affirm one moment of pure joy is to affirm the entire chain of events, including all the pain and misery that led to it.
Right. All things are enlinked, enlaced, and enamored, he says. If you've ever wanted one moment to happen twice, you have implicitly willed for everything to come back.
All anew, all eternal. This is the ultimate act of loving the world, not in spite of its flaws, but because of its total interconnected reality.
You must love it eternally, and you must even say to woe, "Hence, go, but come back," because you know it's part of the fabric that creates joy.
Which is why he concludes, for joys all want eternity.
But he's not done. He has to describe the nature of this joy that wants eternity. It's not a simple, placid feeling.
No, it wants everything. It wants honey, it wants lees, it wants drunken midnight, it wants graves, it wants grave tears consolation.
It wants the full spectrum of existence. He says joy is thirstier, hardier, hungrier, more frightful, more mysterious than all woe.
Why is it so extreme? It bites into itself. The ring's will rives in it.
Because it's so overflowing and rich, it wants to give itself away. It begs to be taken. It even wants to be hated. Its richness allows it to embrace its opposite.
So rich is joy that it thirsts for woe, for hell, for hate, for shame, for the world. It's strong enough to desire and consume all the negativity of existence.
And this, he says, is why this eternal joy longs for the higher men. It longs for their woe, for them as failures.
For failures longeth all eternal joy.
It's a message of ultimate redemption. Joy doesn't want perfection. It wants life in all its messy, painful, glorious reality. That's why joys want the eternity of all things.
They want deep, profound eternity.
A powerful, all-encompassing vision. And with that, the song itself is over. Zarathustra now asks them, "Have ye now learned my song? Have you divined what it would say?"
He tells them, "Well, cheer up, ye higher men, sing now my roundelay."
He wants them to internalize this message and sing it for themselves. A roundelay is a cyclical song, a perfect metaphor for the eternal recurrence.
The song is named Once More, and its meaning is unto all eternity.
And he ends the chapter by giving them the song in its final poetic form. It's a summary of everything we've just discussed.
Can you share the final lines? It feels like the perfect way to close this out.
Of course. The song ends, "The world is deep, and deeper than the day could read. Deep is its woe. Joy deeper still than grief can be. Woe saith, hence, go, but joys all want eternity. Want deep, profound eternity."
A stunning conclusion. It encapsulates the entire journey from the affirmation of the ugliest man to the cosmic philosophy of joy, woe, and eternity. What a chapter.
Indeed, it's the emotional and philosophical heart of Zarathustra's teaching. And that's all the time we have for today on Philosophy Unpacked.
Join us next time as we continue our journey through this incredible work. Thanks for listening.